Ever feel like your faith is wavering in the face of modern life's challenges? You're not alone. In fact, more and more people are quietly wrestling with spiritual doubt in today's world, and it's not a sign of weakness. It's a reflection of the complex, fast-paced reality we live in. This video explores why doubt is on the rise and how you can find solid ground again in your spiritual journey. We live in a world that never stops. From the moment we wake up, we're bombarded with noise, notifications, breaking news, emails, messages. Our minds rarely get a moment to rest. This constant connectivity is exhausting. It leaves little room for quiet, for reflection, for prayer. Faith, by its nature, needs space to breathe, but today's lifestyle suffocates that space. It's no wonder that in the middle of all the motion, so many people begin to feel distant from God. It's not that we've lost belief, it's that we've lost rhythm. The spiritual rhythms that used to ground us, quiet mornings, meditative prayer, time in scripture, get crowded out by the urgent demands of everyday life. And slowly, without even realizing it, doubt begins to creep in. Social media only compounds this struggle. It was supposed to connect us, but often it leaves us feeling more isolated than ever. As we scroll, we see curated snapshots of other people's lives, their vacations, their successes, even their faith. Someone posts a verse every morning, another shares a testimony of breakthrough, and we start to wonder, why don't I feel like that? Why is my faith so fragile? What we don't see are the quiet breakdowns, the nights filled with questions, or the whispered prayers that go unanswered. We compare our real messy lives to someone else's polished version, and we begin to think something's wrong with us. But the truth is, faith isn't a performance. It's a process, and doubt is part of that process. On top of that, society is becoming increasingly secular. Faith is often treated like a private, outdated tradition instead of a living, breathing source of hope. For many, church no longer feels like home. Communities that once nurtured belief are shrinking or becoming more divided. People are deconstructing their beliefs without always reconstructing something in its place. That disconnection can be incredibly disorienting. When we feel spiritually alone, doubt doesn't just visit, it takes up residence. We need people to walk alongside us, not to preach at us, but to listen, support, and remind us we're not crazy for having questions. But even in the midst of all this, there is hope. Doubt isn't the enemy of faith. Apathy is. Doubt means you care enough to wrestle. It means you're seeking something real. The key is to not let that struggle happen in isolation. Start by creating intentional pauses in your day, even if just for a few minutes. Turn off your phone. Breathe. Pray. Honestly, even if your prayer is, "God, I don't know what to believe right now," that kind of prayer is sacred. Next, examine your inputs. What voices are you listening to daily? Are they feeding your soul or draining it? Replace just one scroll session with time in scripture or a podcast that encourages your faith. You'd be surprised how much clarity a shift in focus can bring. Also, find or rebuild community. It doesn't have to be a perfect church. It can be a small group, an online Bible study, or even a few friends who are open about their own struggles. The goal isn't to surround yourself with people who have all the answers, but with people who are willing to walk the journey with you. Finally, give yourself grace. You're human. Faith isn't a straight line. It's a path with peaks and valleys, clarity and confusion. Some of the strongest faith stories began with deep seasons of doubt. Think of Thomas. Think of David. Think of Job. They weren't condemned for questioning. They were met with presence, with love, with truth. You can be too. So if your faith feels shaky right now, you're not broken. You're human in a world that makes belief hard. But you're also capable of finding your footing again, not by pretending the doubt isn't there, but by facing it with honesty, community, and hope. Keep walking. God can handle your questions, and He's closer than you think.